Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Red Dirt and Stardust, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition sci fi pirate and cowboy western campaign. Where last we left the group, they had left the freshly discorporated Twin Gulch and had made their way back home. Uh, Jedidiah was warned by his patron about a woman named Zora who was walking around, who was in actuality Zoriathale, one of the lieutenants under Aradiel, the enemy of Mazarendael. Velantrios also got a very interesting dream about something, a place that they needed to go where there were tons of gold, as well as possible allies in another location, and an easy way to get a ship. Lyla got a vision from her patron, the huckster, talking about keeping an eye out for a person that they found from the missing posters in the ship that crashed into the mountain, a certain red bandana. They then were able to take a long rest after Yvon accosted them in the general store to tell them that she will get them a ship if they manage to collect 34,000 gold for the town in order to pay for the water tower that she once installed. She is clearly trading in favors, wanting to get the water tower built, build up a repertoire of different adventuring skills in order to prove to ship companies that they are trustworthy adventurers that can be taken into the vortex. So, we begin in the morning as you all are waking up, getting ready for the day, knowing that at any moment, Yvonne is going to call upon you to come to her tower and present you with an itemized list of possible jobs. However, we're actually going to start with a different character who came into town about a day and a half ago while the party was still in Twin Gulch. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi.
Surprise!
I wasn't ready yet. I'm ready. Okay.
Okay.
I'm Shawthorn, Zann, the high elf divination wizard. Visiting, traveling from Turtleshell Key, um, on a hunt for an adventuring party.
Yes, and you came into town inquiring about it at the local bar, the Salty Spittoon, run by Teddy, a very interesting bugbear with abnormally long arms, who is happy to serve you and happy to tell you to visit Mayor Yvonne in her tower at the far end of town, which you did. She, of course, was very excited at the opportunity and knew exactly the group of adventurers to call. So she has called you to her tower, where you are sitting in her astronomy room at the top of her magical enchanted tower, sharing a tray of tea and biscuits, waiting for these other folk to arrive. Each of you get a message from Yvonne asking you to come to the tower. The message that you were expecting to get. So you all, whatever you were doing, you make your way to the tower. And we'll say that you are entering the astronomy lab. And before you, you do see Shawthorn along with Yvonne. Ah, welcome. It seems you have a little bit of luck today. Um, this young man came and has a proposition. Hopefully, it will make quite a dent in the money that you owe. Um, it sounds like quite an interesting opportunity. So, if you would like to tell this lovely party that will be accompanying you what you would like them to do.
So you'll see me stand up. You see a high elf wizard, cloak, hood over, on his shoulder, you'll see a tressum, a little winged cat. I'll be like, Shawthorn, Vaughn. You can call me Shaw. I come from Turtle Shell Key. I'm an adventuring monster hunter, and I'm looking for some help taking care of something a little bit down the road at Red Tower.
Velantrios, this seems very familiar to you. Hearing the words Red Tower and remembering the Red Tower in your vision, as well as the Tressum on Shawthorn's shoulder, looks exactly like the Tressum you saw in your vision.
It's nice to meet you, Shaw. What exactly is it that you would like from us?
I have word of some kind of monster in a quarry lake. All I have is the word to go on and a place to go.
Well, I don't know nothing about no monsters, but I sure would like to take a trip down the road to see your tower. Lyla Devine, pleasure.
Shaw, nice to meet you.
Self-control, Lyla. Self-control.
Uh,
Right. I could assume that this deal of ours is going to involve a payout for handling this monster. I'm Virgil Buchanan. Good to meet you, sir. You see a human,
Sir.
curly hair and clerical robes.
Oh, good to meet you, sir, father.
Should we really go with such little information, though? There's a kind of lanky-looking Dhampir standing in the back with a combat robot maid standing at his side. And he's like, the only thing we have to go on right now is that it's in a lake or a quarry?
I have a town, a quarry lake, and a dream. Miss Yvon guaranteed me that this was an adequate adventuring party to help me with this quest. Y'all are definitely an interesting bunch, I must say.
What do you say, Chauncey? By the way, tiefling, pale skin, white hair, opal eyes, linen robes, etc. He looks at Chauncey and he's like, "Would you consider us adequate?"
I mean, as long as none of you die this time, maybe.
This time.
Die?
I don't think any of us have died at all yet, Chauncey.
Oh, I'm being
Promising.
melodramatic. Apologies, Virgil. Let's put it this way. I just really don't want to deal with that much blood again.
oh, and from what I hear from Marcus, y'all did have a pretty tough time out there. But it did seem so dramatic. I just couldn't help myself.
Will it be you joining us this time, Miss Lyla, or another one of your kin?
I think you have worn out my poor dear cousin. So I have decided I'm going to join you on those adventures. He told me all about this missing husband business. And if y'all have that kind of stories, well, then I can't help but tag along.
Well, he didn't stay missing. Yeah, kind of gruesome, but I think what we're trying to say, Mr. Shawthorn, should I call you?
Shaw's fine.
I think we count the four of us in.
Glad to hear it.
In any case, we're the best you got.
In this town, at least.
Indeed. Can't really say no.
Wonderful. Since it is a mine, I'm sure there are things there that you might be able to collect. From what I heard, it was an abandoned mine. So there may be things to collect, things to sell, things to, other things. We do. There's not really a reward out for this monster. But I'm sure we can come to some sort of compensation.
No,
But
wait. You say there ain't no reward. Well, then
not
how are we
currently.
supposed to make any progress on paying back that debt what we owes the town?
Well, I'm sure there will be many things at the mine that we can sell. It was abandoned quite quickly, so there may be boxes of ore, uh, pickaxes, helmets, um, mining equipment,
Some
other
jewelry.
things that can be sold off or used um, to pay back the debt.
Hmm. Sounds like a whole lot of dusty boringness to me, but
What? Afraid to get your hands dirty, Lyla?
hey, why? Of course not. You don't know what these hands can do.
I don't
Dusty
know where those
boringness.
hands have been.
No, you sure don't. A lady does never tell.
All right, well, I suppose we should get packed and ready to head out. We're heading out today.
That might be a wise idea. There's about 2.5 days journey
Oof.
to Red Tower. So I will make sure that Gertie provides you with the horses and the wagons so that you can get there.
Cinnamon and sugar dust, if I do recall.
Whatever horse she's willing to give will be given. So
Well, I
pack what
can't
you
see
need
the
to
carriage
pack.
ride in all of this. I need to go change.
All right. I will head over to the general store and make the arrangements while you all pack what you need to pack.
Um, on the way out, can Lyla do a little aside with Chauncey? Just like kind of pop up,
Sure.
lift her
Oh,
little skirts. So, Mr. Og, you
yeah,
must tell me.
Miss Lila, how can I help you?
Well, you know how curious I am, and I was just wondering if you might be able to tell me a little bit more about one of them folk that was on that wanted poster. What was his name? There were a couple of them. Something about a bandana. I think he crewed up with that lady that you got her hammer.
Um, well, could I history check to see if I know anything about any of the other fugitives?
Sure. Yeah, you can give me a history check.
Okay. See how much Chauncey knows about everyone else on the wanted posters, other than the two people we all know about.
Right.
History. It's a 13.
So you would probably know the basics. From the poster, you recognize the face. There's been stories circulating about this particular villain, in a sense, for quite some time. The red bandana, otherwise revealed to have been Lawrence Clifford, was a wealthy man who decided that he was bored and was going to start robbing people. Um, he eventually got caught in a shootout, got shot, but survived, got dragged off to jail. People thought that was the end of it. That was about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Um, but as of this moment, you believe he is free. You don't know where he is
Hmm.
because the three people, Corrigan, the red bandana, and Virgil are all missing. There were no corpses. Um,
Hmm.
so they're missing from the ship. You don't know if they shacked up together or if they went their separate ways or what, but it was clear that they managed to escape, possibly using the Bubo Alpha.
So, I mean, Miss Lila, I don't want to lie to you. I don't know too much about him. He's a rich guy who got bored and started killing people and robbing from them. Sounds kind of, if we're lucky, maybe he did wind up shacking up with Corrigan and she blew him up by now.
Hmm. Well, I suppose if she did, then we're out that reward, but I thought maybe his relationship with her went back a little bit further. Sorry to trouble you.
Oh, no, no, I don't remember him at all. So
Hmm.
he wasn't at least from my shared history with her, he wasn't around.
Yeah, you
Wait.
don't remember anyone by either of those names
Also, as
involved
we
with
scroll
Corrigan.
a little bit more, then she'll just pop in. How have things been going with that? There was a boy, what was giving you trouble?
I mean, we've been really busy. I haven't really talked to or run into him or the other one lately.
No, no,
I'm do
no. I remember telling you was going to go out on all them adventures. How are you feeling about the whole situation?
I mean, I'm very good at making cakes. That was fun. Did I? Oh, I didn't even show you. Chauncey, just like a crazy bag lady, starts reaching into his bag of holding, and he's like, "We saw this thing." He pulls out pretty much an amigurumi of a Knoll vampire, and he's like, "I don't know if your cousin should talk to you about this part. We fought one of these. I made this. I'm making a collection. It's like every time we run into something particularly interesting, and he pulls out, he's got a little Zorn one from the other mine that we went down.
Oh, I do remember that. Well, your collection is coming along fabulously.
Oh, shoot. I have to. Oh, before we leave, I have to go fix Miller girl. Her doll's leg broke off, and apologies, Lyla. I really do have to run before we get ready to go.
Of course, of course. It's going to take me a while to get out of these guts, so I'll let you run.
Yeah. And so you all manage to go off, and unless anybody wants to role play something specific with packing, we'll say it takes you maybe 2 hours to get fully packed and back over, where Gertie is outside with cinnamon and sugar dust with a covered wagon. Um,
Well, I was just gonna like I saw the what was it, a frumpkin? Or what is it called?
the Tressum.
Tristan. I nothing really specific. He just loves animals, of course, for obvious reasons. And so he just really wants to play with the winged cat. So he goes like this, like against the Tristan, like chest is like he goes to Shaw and he's like, uh, does it have a name?
Faux pas.
Faux
Oh,
pas.
Faux pas.
Faux pas.
That's
Damn it. Is it Paw Paw?
It
Because
is.
oh my God. That is
I
such a
had
cat name.
I had to know. I had
It is.
to know.
It is.
Of course.
does faux pas like that name?
Faux pas loves his name and does not like being touched.
Ooh.
He just goes like, sorry.
Mm.
So, Mr. Shaw and Lila, I guess we'll take his arm. We're assuming we're in the carriage riding along or whatever.
Works for me.
Probably packing the carriage at this point, not quite in it, riding it, packing it. You
That'll
do
work.
notice that there are like boxes that are now strapped to the sides of the covered wagon so that you could store a lot of other stuff in there, and the inside of the wagon stays as free as possible for anything you might be able to drag in there, boxes, bins, bags, other things that you might find around Red Tower that could be valuable. Um, and you won't have to sacrifice space for, vitals and things like that. So all your rations and things are kind of on the outside of the wagon, but very tightly lashed. So Gertie is probably packing. Um, there might have been one or two miners, not Leroy Fisher, packing, helping out. But yeah, you're probably packing the wagon at this point.
Okay. Well, at any rate, Lila just, I guess she's, curious, wants to know what more can you tell us about this creature?
Honestly, not much. I just like to take on odd jobs such as this. it gets boring living in the city, and I like to explore sometimes.
And you decided that a humble little town was the place to do that.
It was on the way, and I needed help, so
Fair enough. Well, I'm happy to have the extra set of hands, as useful as they seem.
they're useful enough.
Well,
Jed
come
is
on now. Are
gonna
you going to help me
be
with my bags?
Jed does some packing, and then I think the way I contact Mazarandael is with my ring. And I'm just gonna
Yes,
like
you can
kind of,
contact him through the ring.
I'm just gonna, after I finish packing, I'll sit down. The illusion falls away, and my red tiefling self reveals itself, and I do a little ritual. The lights dim, the fire flickers, blah blah, and then
Are you in your room at this
yeah,
point?
I'm privately in
Okay.
my room. Yes,
I was just like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
she's just on
was-
the other side of the
yes.
covered wagon.
Oh yeah,
with
I'm
the
just
sort of
like in
eerie
town.
light.
Like, yep.
What's up, guys?
So-
No, I'm just like Mazarandael. We're being summoned out of town again to the Red Tower to deal with some monster. I'll be away for a few days to a week, I would think.
There is a moment before there is a response. Good. I still sense Sorathiel's presence. She's roaming, looking.
Ominous. I'll keep an eye out.
Good. Be prepared to kill.
Always.
Oh my.
And Mazarendael's presence fades from the room.
And grab my little bag and put my Virgil face back on and head out to the gang.
All right. So you all are packed and ready, and you all say your goodbyes, hop in the covered wagon, and begin trundling along. It is 2.5 days inland, so most of the cities or towns in Gold Rush tend to be a little bit closer to the edge of the plate just because easier access to the sea. The land there is a little bit more arid, a little bit less rocky, as opposed to the center that has a lot of rocks. But there are some towns that were scattered around inside. You trundle along, you begin to see an increase in trees.
Yay.
As you're kind of letting the wagon rock. The roads are kind of not as upkept. So there's a lot of rocks and you're kind of jolted around, but it's otherwise a kind of nice ride throughout the day. So since we're going to be doing a lot of traveling in this campaign, I would like to introduce a group skill check. So for the whole day, this is going to cover the whole day. I'd like everybody to pick at least one skill and roll a skill check and explain to me how that is helping you all travel, whether it's like animal handling or survival or performance or anything, just any way to pass the time or help the travel go faster.
I'll do animal handling.
All right, so you'll be taking care of Cinnamon and Sugar Dust.
I'll regale everyone with a lovely oh performance.
So that will be performance check.
Yep.
Raise morale.
Sure.
I'll do a nature check. Keep an eye on the weather.
Sure, that'll work.
Ooh, 23.
All right, so Cinnamon and Sugar Dust are ready to go. They know where they're going. They're letting you guide the way. They are very happy to be doing what they're doing, and the ride goes as smoothly as it can over the completely rocky, untamed road.
19 on the weather check.
All right. So it is probably going to be pretty hot. Um, most of the day. The sun is going to be beating down, so you kind of are able to kind of point Velantrios towards roads that have more tree coverage and where the trees are kind of blocking the sun and able to kind of encourage that sort of routing through the wilderness, and so you all don't get as hot.
I'll shape water the horses some extra water every now and then.
Sounds like a deal.
So I guess Lila's vocal cords are a little rusty.
Oh.
'Cause I rolled.
Oh no, a natural one.
Oh no.
I did actually
You,
roll. It was a natural one. Yeah, that's
Oh,
oh my
no.
goodness. You try to start a rousing
Chance to
round
do
of
something.
1,000 bottles of beer on the wall,
Oh
1,000 bottles
gosh.
of beer, and eventually
No.
everyone's like, no, please stop.
That sounds like
It
two
gets
cats
so
and
grating.
I, I didn't have a chance to have my ginger seltzer this morning.
My stats are just so not geared towards this. The only thing I can think of that is applicable could be stealth, like help the caravan avoid deadly animals or something.
Bandits.
Okay, roll it.
Okay. Oh, I did really good. It's a 24.
There
All
we go.
right.
Wow.
Ooh.
There we
So
go.
seeing Shawthorn beginning to guide Velantrios under the trees and along paths that have a lot of shade and a lot of cover, you also begin to encourage this and keep an eye out for like roads that go down into gulches that are covered on either side, under bridges, under rocks, things like that, to stay as unseen as possible. And you all are less likely to be noticed by creatures.
Could I do it as like an Arcana or tool check? I want to cast on a cart and anything that looks like it's gonna start giving way.
All right.
Do-
Yep.
Doing
Make your
stuff with
roll.
objects is what I do. So,
All right.
oh baby, that ain't much better than Lyla.
Oh
After
no.
modifiers, that is a 10.
All right.
I'd
Yay.
say that's better.
You use yeah, you use some of your tools to begin to, because this cart is a bit old. It's a bit dusty. It's probably hasn't been used for a while. And you notice that one of the boards, as you're trundling along, is starting to like the nails are kind of giving way. And so you begin to try and fix it, but then you go over a bump and your knee smashes into the board, and the board falls down directly on the axle and cracks the axle of the wagon. It almost jackknifes as you all skid to a halt. You will have to fix the wagon.
Oh,
Chauncey, whatever were you thinking?
damn it, Chauncey.
I was trying to fix it. Oh, give me a moment. Let's just not be moving while I do this, maybe.
All right, I can stretch my legs for a little bit, get some air.
Velantrios gets up and gently pats the horses.
Yeah, the horses seem pretty calm. Just because you've handled them so well that they aren't frightened by this event. They're just a little bit confused on why they're stopping, but eventually you manage to calm them down. So while you all are here, oops, I am missing someone. Yes. Okay. No particular reason.
Mhm.
Done, done, done. Okay. So as you are kind of stuck here, what is it that you all would like to do to pass the time a little bit as Chauncey begins to try and fix um, the wagon? Anything else that you would all like to do?
Well, can I retcon store a Bane in a card thing?
Yes, you certainly can.
Cool. And then we'll also say, I don't know, maybe Lyla plays her flute for the party a little bit. Does a little ditty.
All right.
I guess just to pass the time, Jed or Virgil will come up to Shaw and be like, "So this little cat of yours, never really seen one like it. Where'd you find him?"
Well, faux pas, might trust him. It's my familiar. He goes everywhere with me.
Oh, so it's less of a pet and more of a Creature you summoned with magic. Gotcha.
More like a friend for sure.
All right. Well, hi, faux pas. Haven't really had many animals around with us, so it'll be hopefully a nice change of pace.
He's very useful for sure. For sure. I actually do have a question for you. The Lyla character.
Oh,
She doesn't seem really like the adventuring type to me.
Lyla, you're so blurry.
When did you learn
Dismiss the
blur?
blur spell, Lyla. Dismiss it.
Drop the blur spell. We don't need it.
Oh, I don't fucking. Oh God,
There
there.
we go.
Okay. Well, you know, you don't know a lot about my history, but I did travel around quite a bit when I was let's say, more youthful than I am now. But I settled down in Drake's Ridge. Just kept a long-term list of clients, but a lady gets restless, and then handsome new folk like you decide to come to town.
John definitely blushes at that one.
How can a lady help herself?
Of course, I understand.
Just sorry if are you guys done?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go for it.
As we're stuck here, I would like to do a perception check of our immediate environment.
Oh, you certainly can.
12.
Lena Rose.
So, as you look around, you're kind of in a place where the road was going straight, but there was a very large rock in the way. So it instead goes down a little cliff and around the bluff and up through almost a natural sort of archway of rock. There are quite a few pine trees around here. The rocks are kind of a little reddish. There's definitely sort of a very large drop off a couple 100 feet over to your right, where you can see more sort of pine trees and more valleys and things like that that are the sort of rocky valleys of Gold Rush itself. But there is a particular pine tree that is a little bit bigger than you think it should be, but I mean, it's just a pine tree.
Uh-huh. I swear to God, if we have to deal with a Leshy.
Right.
But other than that, that's your current environment.
Okay. Thanks. I'm just going to continue looking around while I'm holding onto the reins.
All right, Chauncey, if you would like to use a skill check of some kind to try and mend the axle or...
I got a 22.
All right.
Yeah.
So you manage to find some bits and bobs here and there in your bag, and you get under the wagon and you lash the axle together. You learn some tricks. Hortensia, your friend way back at the lab, had a special ability that she tried to teach you, where she could put pieces of metal and pieces of wood together in such a way that it was almost indistinguishable from each other. It looked like a single piece. And you tried to use some of those techniques and you managed to knit it back together. And you could still see there's a crack there. It's not perfect, but you do manage to find some like wood glue and other things like that. You manage to set the axle together and you re-nail the board into the bottom. And in maybe 25 minutes, when the glue fully dries, you should be ready to go and it should be able to roll on the axle and not break, at least not for a while until you can get a new axle.
Well, I do have the mending cantrip, which could just repair it together.
That is true.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had the mending cantrip, so I decided to give you backstory flavor.
There we go.
But yes, just so that you know, Hortensia does have that ability. She was very good at creating, those videos on Instagram where they have the two metal pieces that look like jagged and weird, and they put them together and it looks like one. She's able to do that. Like her mind works in that way that she's able to do that with wood, with metal, with all kinds of things. And that was like her big skill that she brought to the lab. And so you picked up a little bit from that. So you were able to, mend it together quite well.
I don't know, Chauncey would have done that just to dick around and like experiment a little, but then he's just gonna be like, oh, this probably won't hold for super long. So his last little hammer knock is just him casting mending on it to literally
Yeah.
make it good as
So
new.
you've wood glued it together, you're holding it together, it's almost seamless. You see the glue kind of poking out, and then you're like, wait a minute, I have the mending cantrip. Whack. And then you wipe the glue off. And yeah. As you all begin to get back into the wagon, a pine cone bounces off the carriage,
Swear to God,
the
it's a
seat.
squirrel. I swear to God.
All right, let's do this. Let's all roll for initiative.
Velantrios, what was that? Is everything all right out there?
Dare I do another perception check?
I mean, you can if you want to.
Okay.
If I hear a noise, can I just mage armor real quick?
Yes, you certainly can.
Cool.
You touch you touch yourself, and armor shimmers around you for a moment.
Gonna be 20. That's a 20.
You quickly whip over and scan. You see movement in the large pine tree. It appears to be some sort of wooden arm that's moving back up into the branches. And for a moment, it looks almost indistinguishable from the tree itself before the arm comes back down with a pine cone and throws it. And another pine cone bounces off the carriage.
Oh,
Congratulations, Leo. You're officially Dorothy.
armor of Agathis real fast.
Sure, you certainly can.
Because things are escalating here. I definitely hear the like
Yep.
pine cone
Okay.
bounce things.
I Stucalo. Sorry, I meant like minimized vision on D&D Beyond.
Uh-oh.
It sucks.
So I would like to cast Entangle on the tree.
All right.
This thing is not very dexterous.
Yeah, you watch his vines erupt from the ground and begin to spiral and form. And just like it was before, the little roses begin to bloom on it as they curl around the roots of the tree. And what saving throw is it?
It is a
Is it dex or strength?
It's one of those.
sorry, 1 second. Attack saving throw is a strength of 16.
Strength. Oh, that's surprising. Well, it rolled a natural 1.
Yes.
You
Beautiful.
watch as in the trunk, a face, almost like a jack-o'-lantern, seems to rip open. You see the bark fly out, glowing light comes out of it as it opens its mouth, and it actually speaks in Druidic as it uproots itself, but can't seem to move. And you watch as 2 arms come down with pine cones ready as it roars in Druidic, "Get out of my grove!" And now I need everyone to roll initiative.
Fabulous.
While they were doing their like mage armor and armor of Agathis, can I do my one pre-combat buff spell too?
Yes,
It's just Gift of Alacrity.
of course.
Alacrity. Because it's not even, it's just because Daddy's an elf and Daddy was an elf and Mama was a vampire.
Okay, now Lyla definitely needs to write a country song about you. Like a Carrie Underwood, like kind of moment, you know what I'm saying?
All right, what's everyone's initiative roll?
Lyla got an 18.
I got an
18,
11.
11,
15.
15 for Shaw,
14.
10.
Why am I
10 for Chauncey, 14 for Jed. All right. So it looks like Lyla and Shaw are up first. Wait, did you get an 18?
I got an 18.
I got a
18. Okay,
15,
so it's
yeah.
Lyla first, Shaw next, and then the pine tree. So,
Uh,
Lyla, what would you like to do as this thing is trying to get out of the entangle spell, but apparently can't?
um, let's see. Well, I think actually I'm gonna go for Lila's a little startled, like she's not really thrilled with whatever this hideous monster over there is. So she kind of like spooks up, and I'm gonna mold earth, and make like some difficult terrain around it.
Okay, how far
Um,
does Move Earth go? Or
mold earth,
Bold Earth? Move Earth is a different
30,
spell.
30 feet.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say it doesn't quite reach the tree, but it does get it in front of the tree, where if the tree were to use its movement speed on this turn, it would have to go through it.
That'll work. Yeah, let's go for
The tree
that.
is probably about 45 feet away, so it would need to move through the difficult terrain in order to get anywhere.
And then let's say maybe she does some kind of, I don't know. Oh, Mr. Shaw, get that hideous thing away from me. That's gonna be a bardic inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
All right.
Also I have what is it? Magical inspiration, so you can use that on damage or healing spells as well.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yep. It's powerful. So, Shaw, it is your turn. You see the entangled pine creature flailing ineffectively.
We're in the back of the covered wagon, right? I would assume. Is that what you said?
Either in the back or standing around it, as Chauncey was under it fixing it. One or the
Oh,
other.
cool.
I'll let you choose.
Standing around works. I'll cross frostbite on it, but it has to make a con save 14.
It rolled a 16,
Okay.
so it gets a 21.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Can I use a point die to make that a 4? Oh, I have to call
Yes,
it
you.
before. I have to call it before, right?
Do you?
I think I do.
No, I don't think
Okay. Okay.
I will
think
allow that. It's
Then
fine.
I would like to make it a 4 then.
All right, so it's going to be taking frostbite damage.
I think technically it's you have to call it after hearing the result of the roll, but before knowing whether or not it hits or something like that. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
I see. So that'll be 10 cold damage, and it has disadvantage on its next attack.
All right.
And I will duck behind the wagon.
How much cold damage was it?
10.
10. All right. That makes the
Very,
math a little bit easier.
very
And you
bravely,
move
I will
behind the
hide.
wagon.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Oh, and I'll send faux pas to Jedidiah's shoulder. Jedidiah, you just have a cat just on your shoulder.
All right.
That's it.
We cool? Is it we cool?
All
Cheshire
right.
Cat.
All right.
Cat
It
friend.
is now the pine tree's turn. It is going to take out 2 pine cones and it's going to chuck them. It can't see Shawthorn, so it's actually just going to send both towards Velantrios, since you were the last person to do something weird to it.
One is at disadvantage because of frostbite.
Right? Yep, the first one was a 3, so it only gets a 12. No, wait. Yep, it only gets a 12. I'm assuming that doesn't hit.
Nope.
And the second one is a natural 20, as it beams it directly at you. Yeah.
Oof. Getting walloped in the noggin with a pine cone.
Oh no.
That's going to be 18 points of slashing damage
Jesus.
as it just beams you with a pine cone. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Is that before or after the damage applies?
After. As you get hit with this pine cone, it breaks apart and it's almost like a water balloon where there's this thick, sticky sap, and you try and quickly brush it off of you.
I live in Massachusetts. I'm familiar with the feeling.
Yeah.
So what was it again?
It was a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
Um, saving throws. So I really should familiarize myself better with this thing. Do I just click on dexterity?
There should be your
There's a
dex
saving throw section.
Yeah, there's a saving throw section. If you go here, let me minimize. I'll see if I can find where.
There we go.
You got it? Okay.
Yep. That is a 21.
You managed to brush off the sticky sap from the pine cone. Oops. And oops. You managed to brush off the sap from the sticky pine cone, and you are not restrained. Does it need to need to use its action to escape your entangle? Attempt to escape your entangle?
Okay, let me get back to that. Spells.
It might, or it might just get it. I don't know if it gets it at the end of its turn or.
Oh, it's entangle? Concentration?
Yeah.
Oh,
so he
entangle
makes
is
a
concentration, so you'll need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Sorry,
Not to bring that up.
All
I
right.
forgot about that as well. It's okay.
It's a 15.
For the
Your
Constitution
con.
saving throw?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Since you took, what was it, 18 damage, it's half the damage. 10 or half the damage, so it's over 10, so you maintain concentration on entangle. And then what was it that we were I completely blanked on what we were doing.
Entangle.
Save? Does it need to make a saving throw at the end of its turn, or does it need to use its action to get out of it? That's what I was wondering.
Oh, I think that's a top of the turn saving throw.
It's
As an
you use your action to break entangle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an action to break entangle? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it
Action
doesn't
for a strength save, yeah.
action or a strength save. Okay. All right, so it doesn't break free of the entangle. So next up after the pine tree, it is Jed.
Hell yeah. How far away is it from me?
It's about 35 feet, I would say, or so.
Cool. I'm cast Flaming Sphere at it.
All right.
Are you sure you want to cast Flaming Spear or Sphere in a forest?
Yes.
I mean,
I can't see that going wrong.
we
Can't
are
possibly be going wrong.
Jed does one thing and it's fire. All right.
Oh no, I do one thing as ice. Oh shit.
Well, sorry, it's
So-
not like Elden Ring where frostbite gets undone by fire. Sorry.
So I just summon it, and then I'm gonna also bonus action smack it with it on this turn.
All right.
So it needs to make me a dexterity saving throw, DC 16.
It gets a 17.
Shit. Wait,
Is
does
that
the
it?
entangled not does it not give a disadvantage or anything on dex saves?
Does it?
I don't know. Feels
Why
like
do I
it
feel like
should.
it does?
Because whatever restrained does.
Yeah, if it's restrained,
It
I
does
think
have disadvantage on dex saves, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
15.
Hell yeah, full damage.
nice, barely.
All right.
Got it.
All right, so it gets 2d6 fire damage. I love how fucking pathetic the damage on this spell is.
Well, it is a concentration spell, and you get to boop it each time.
Yeah, you
So-
do. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's probably
It takes
why.
9 fire damage, and also it'll take
Alright.
damage again when it starts its turn in the area.
Right. You
Right,
said it was
right.
9 points of damage?
9 fire damage.
Man.
All right. As you whack the pine tree with this flaming sphere, it howls in pain, and you watch some of the needles in a patch on the tree begin to turn orange, and a branch falls off of it. It seems to do more damage than you thought it would.
Fuck yeah.
So next up
Burn.
is Velantrios.
Okay. Um
with Chauncey on deck.
I mean, I really don't think it's like an evil creature thing. I just think it's like something that was like, hey, this is my land. I don't want you on my land. Get out.
It did just critically try to murder you with a pine cone, though.
Yeah, I
That
respect
was-
that position, but
What,
I would
you've
like
never
to
had
continue
someone
being
point your-
alive.
What, you've never had someone point their gun at you when you go on their land?
Eh.
I am from Texas, so.
He does bring up
Can I just
So
I really feel like I'm taking my life into my hands here, but I would like to talk to it in Druidic.
what do you say?
I would like to say, please stop, please stop. We don't want to cause you any harm or trouble. We're just trying to move along to our destination.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I'm a druid, not a warlock.
Sorry, it's what it would be.
Abilities. Is it? It's not a saving throw, right? It's just a
No,
regular.
it's a d20
persuasion.
on your end plus persuasion. So whatever that skill is, it's a skill check.
Yeah.
Where are you? Passive wisdom. Percent. No.
It'll be under skills.
Ah, there you are.
There it is. Yeah.
Please, please, please. Damn it, 12.
Ouch! Fire! And you get the sense that it's not going to stop. So I
Can I-
will allow that to be a bonus action if you would like an action.
Okay. Can I still attack?
You have, as long as you have an action, which you do. So yeah.
Okay. Ah, damn it. I am going to do. What was it? Sacred Flame.
All right, and that's a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage. There is no point rolling again. I got a 3.
Okay. So damage is 4.
Takes 4 points of damage.
2d. Wait, it's 2d8.
2
right?
because you're 5th. So roll another d8.
Oh wait, never mind. It was already 2d8.
Oh yeah, that was already 2d8.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
was
those were
oh,
both
anyway.
really bad rolls.
Oof.
Not a great night for
Yikes.
this. Not having a good time.
Yeah.
All right. So you have your bonus action, your action. Do you want to use your move speed?
I feel bad for leaving the horses. But I feel like I'm gonna be the target of this thing, so I'd like to move like 5 feet away, if that's possible.
All right. Yep. All right, Chauncey, it's your turn.
It's just like he's gonna just audibly like twist his head to the side and crack his neck for a minute. He's got his in the course of like getting ready for this, he's got his big old hammer out now. How much distance does the entangle cover around this tree? Because that's all difficult terrain, right?
Yes.
And the area in front of it because of mold earth.
Yes.
Oh, cool. How
So
about the
it's
area to the side of it?
There you go.
It's like a 20-foot radius around the tree, I think.
Yeah, but I
Is
have Misty
entangle?
set, so I'm gonna move like 10 or 15 feet forward and Misty right next to it.
Okay, yep, you can do
That's
that.
my bonus action, and I'm gonna swing, bada bada, swing. Ah, it's only a 10. Let me check. We're putting that d20 away. What is it? That's an 11 to hit.
Nope. Let me read something real quick. Okay, yeah, you smack your hammer into the side of this tree and it just bounces off. Doesn't do any damage.
The other one's a nat 1, so yay!
Oh no.
That's fine.
And Lovey May is still back where you started,
Uh,
or is she
yeah.
running up?
She'll
Okay.
probably be running up too, but she has to deal with the difficult terrain.
Yep.
Does Jedidiah have the highest DPS right now?
Probably.
That's
Wow.
never happened.
Yeah,
Let's go fire.
literally.
Yeah. All right, so we are back up to the top with Lyla. What would you like to do?
Okay. Can I don't know how close can I get to this tree with a 30-foot speed and like needing to go like navigate away from the carriage still.
I would. Did you run behind the carriage?
I probably like just barely stepped out the back and like just chilled there. Then I
Okay.
asked Shaw for help and he ran around the
Yeah, okay.
He was like, "Yeah, bye."
I'm gonna say that that's about 45 feet, so you'll get 15 feet away, which would be into the difficult terrain with the entangle and your mold earth.
Well, that is not gonna work for that. So, I guess we will just try from here. I am, yeah, we're gonna try a persuasion check. Yeah, she's just gonna, Mr. Tree, sir, I'm sorry, but I think my friends are gonna burn down more than just you if you don't let us pass. I think it might be in your best interest to let us just move along. Any chance you could stop throwing pine cones?
Do you speak Druidic or Sylvan?
Oh shit, yeah, that's right. It was speaking in Druidic. It wasn't
Uh-huh.
in oh shit. All right,
It
well,
wasn't speaking in common, so far
that's
Velantrios is the only one that understands it.
shit,
Yep.
he's the only one who can talk to it. Crap. Okay, never mind. Well, that's not gonna work either, and I don't have language spells. Um, fuck.
I don't think it's gonna listen to me.
Let's try asleep. Let's try asleep, maybe. Just try
Okay.
non-combative sort of a situation.
Is
Uh,
there's no restriction on like creature type, is there? It's just like can't be charmed and can't be put to sleep are immune to the spell. Everything else.
yeah. Nope, no creature type thing.
All right. What level are you casting it at?
We are gonna do second because that's the highest I can go.
Oh yes.
So that'll give me the
All
extra.
right.
Oh shit, yeah, that's not a great idea. That's only gonna give me 2d8. Right? Is it 2d8? What is it? Hang on.
Has to be more than that.
The base spell is more than that. I think it gives you an extra 2d8 per level above first.
Okay, hang on. Spell no, it's 5d8 and then 2d8. So 7d8.
Yeah.
Which is gonna give me what, 30? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Not gonna say anything, but
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
just hit it.
No, actually, I think I'm just gonna hold my action. I don't think Lyla really wants to like hurt this thing now after she heard like Velantrios like kind of trying to talk to it or whatever.
uh-huh.
So yeah, I'm just gonna chill. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna climb back into the carriage. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yep, okay.
I'm gonna climb back into the carriage. But you know what? I'll cast a vicious mockery. That's what I'll do. We'll do a vicious mockery. That's 60 feet. We can do that. I will just insult this nasty pine cone throwing horrible sticky monster man. Yeah.
What saving throw is it? Charisma?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, what? Okay, that's a weird stat for it to have. Oh goodness. It got a 21.
For goodness sake. Yeah, climb it back into the carriage. I'm just gonna Get in the carriage.
This tree is
Wise.
very wise.
Apparently very wise.
The wise man of the
Stupidly
forest.
wise.
Constitution.
Lived a long life, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it is a very large pine tree.
Fucking tree.
A huge one might say.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
All right.
So
Yeah,
then,
no, I'm just climbing back. I'm climbing back in the carriage.
all right, Shaw, it's your turn. You're standing behind the carriage, mage armored up.
I will step out for a second and cast Hold the Dead on it. Which is
All
2d12 because it's taking damage.
Yes. And what saving throw is it?
Wisdom 14, which we have already established it's wise. So
That's a 15.
great, wonderful. So it takes no damage.
Fabulous.
The toll rings out as it shudders a little bit, but it doesn't seem to do any damage to it.
And Chauncey, you said your automaton was running up to it?
Yeah, so she has 40 feet of movement speed because she's just built like that. So she's probably already in the difficult terrain at this point.
I'm just gonna bonus action give her a telekinetic shove. Push her forward 5 feet.
Oh, thank you.
Question. What is she made of?
She's made of metal.
Could I do heat metal?
I think that would damage her.
That would damage her.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
We don't really want to
Save it for
damage
the
our
next
battle bot.
time- Save it for the next time an enemy's holding a sword.
And then I will duck back behind the carriage.
All right.
Bravely.
So it is now the pine tree's turn. You
Flaming
tried to hit it
sphere.
with the hand. What?
Flaming sphere.
Oh, yes, flaming spear. What saving throw is it?
Dexterity 16.
It rolled a 4 and
Hell
has a
yeah.
-2. So it rolled a 2. Roll your damage.
6 fire damage.
6. Whoops. Okay. All right. So this tree manages to turn and face you, Chauncey, and its arms just swipe at you as it makes 3 attacks with its slam.
Oh,
Ooh. Does a 26 hit you?
A 26 will hit.
All right.
Sure.
25 to hit.
25 will hit.
Uh-oh. I'll silvery barbs
Which
one of
one?
them.
Okay.
The 26, sure.
All
I'll
right.
silvery barbs the other one.
Okay, so that was
Leave him
still a
alone, you
hit because it's
nasty
a
tree.
14.
Damn
It's a 14 plus 9.
I
And so
tried.
the other one is that one might not hit. Does a 16 hit you?
16 doesn't hit.
So you watch as magic seems to hold the arm for a moment, allowing you to back away as it swipes. And so for the third one, we lost someone.
Oh, Yofi.
Yofi.
That one does an 18 hit you?
I'm gonna shield that one.
Shield. Okay, so it only gets 1 attack off.
Because
Which
with shield, my
means-
AC is 22.
All right, good to know.
That does burn one. Everything I've cast so far has been off of feats. That one will burn a spell slot.
So that's 14 points of bludgeoning damage
Oof.
as it rakes you. And that is the end of its turn because it is not going to attempt to get out of the entangle when it has a target to attack in front of it that has attempted to deal damage to it. So after the pine tree, it is Jed.
Cool. I'm gonna give myself that advantage from silvery barbs. I'm going to do just a little firebolt on it.
All right. Make your attack roll.
All right. The first is a 19 to hit. The second is a 21 to hit.
Both of those hit.
Cool. Ooh, big damage. 17 fire damage.
Good roll.
Ooh.
Hey, you watch as
Great.
this fire dances around me and I sling it towards the guy.
Ooh, that made the math really easy. Yeah, you watch as this firebolt splashes across the bark. The fire seems to linger for a moment, and more of the twigs fall off and more of the needles dry up. You've done some significant damage to it with that.
Nice.
Seems fire does quite a bit of damage to it.
And then I'm gonna bonus action slam it with my flaming sphere. Give me a deck save. 16.
Ooh, it's not good at those. Rolled a 15, so it gets a 13. It is not
Hell
very
yeah.
dexterous.
Jed is kind of tearing shit up right now. It's
Yes,
5
he
fire
is.
damage.
Oh. Yay, you're
Give
no
me
longer
more
in triple
enemies
digits.
that are vulnerable to fire. I like this. This is good for me.
I like how she decided that fire for some kind of priest.
Yeah, that was a good turn. 22 damage.
Yeah.
Plus.
So you are no longer in triple digits. Yay. All right. So after Jed is Velantrios with Chauncey on deck.
I'm gonna cast Infestation.
All right. It's a
Infested with
Constitution
termites.
saving throw.
Constitution saving throw is Constitution 16.
Gets a 22.
Damn it.
It has a good Constitution score. Anything else you would like to do with your turn?
Oh god, there's something else that I can do.
You got a bonus action?
Yeah, bonus
Um,
action healing.
I
Oh.
have well, yeah, but I can also do enhance ability. Can I do that?
I didn't think enhance ability was a bonus action. Let me check.
I might be
thought it-
wrong about that.
It should say on there, but I'll check because I thought it was an action. Yeah, it's an action.
Okay.
If it was a bonus action, you would have been able to cast it because infestation is a cantrip.
Right.
But because it's an action, you can't.
Um,
You'll have to save that for next turn.
what about
It should say under like casting time in the spell, it should say like either 1 BA or 1 A.
first because I'm looking at healing word.
Healing Word is in fact a bonus action. So if you would like to cast it, you may cast it because you've only cast a cantrip. So you can
Yep.
cast Healing Word.
So I'm going to cast healing word on myself.
Of course, since you got whacked with that pine cone.
Yep. So I'm just gonna say heal, and next thing you know, this like golden radiance shimmers around me.
All right. So you can roll your healing hit points. And unless you want to move, we're moving on to Chauncey.
Yeah, we're gonna give Chauncey that silvery barbs, by the way. Sorry, my computer just like shut off for no reason.
That is weird. Well, we got you back
Yay.
in.
Okay.
So you get advantage on your first whack-in.
Yeah. First whack. Which advantage is how does a 28 do against AC?
That hits. However, as your hammer slams into the tree, it gushes sap. And I need you to make a strength check. Oh, it's technically a strength saving throw. Yep, so make me a strength saving throw.
That's gonna be an 18.
You give it a tug, and for a moment it's stuck, and you dig your heel into the ground and rip your hammer out of the sap. So how much damage did your hammer slam do? Roll fire, give me fire
Roll
separately.
fire separate. Okay.
15
15 bludgeoning, 3 fire.
Whoops. 15 bludgeoning. All right. And you're giving, I'm assuming you're doing a second whack.
Yeah, this one not with advantage. 23 to hit.
That hits, so you're going to have to make another saving throw, but roll me the damage first. We'll do the saving throw after, as your hammer gets stuck in the sap.
15 bludgeoning again. and 2 points of fire.
Oof, you've done some significant damage to this thing.
He usually does.
And give me a
Strength saving throw.
strength save.
Nat 20.
Yep, you expecting the resistance, you really dig your heels into the ground and just rip your hammer back out from this gushing waterfall of sap. And we are back up to the top.
With the telekinetic shove, can Lovey May close the distance even through the difficult terrain now? She has 40
her-
movement speed.
40, but then she has to move through the 20-foot radius, which halves her movement speed because it's difficult terrain.
And I gave her a 5-foot push. So
5-foot push.
Yeah.
No, she's going to need, I think, if I did my math correctly, about 10 feet of movement to get closer. So if she moves 10 feet, which would cost her 20 feet, she can then attack the creature, melee. But she'll have to use about 20 feet of movement to get up to it.
Can I do that and use my bonus action to hit it?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
And remember, she'll have to make the strength saving throw to get out of the sap if she hits.
She's gonna get she only adds my spell attack modifier to her hit. So that is 17 plus 8, so 25.
Yeah, that hits. So roll the damage and then make me a strength save as she has to pull her foot out of the sap that she's just caused to pour out of the tree.
All right, 2 seconds. I need to pull up the stat block for Steel Defender. And Force Empowered Rend is a D8 plus our proficiency bonus. So force damage. So that's only going to be 5 force damage.
That's something.
Yes.
And strength saving throw, she gets a 10.
Her foot gets stuck in the tree. She is unable to pull it out.
Oh no.
And she is restrained.
Okay.
That's the end of your turn. We are back up to the top with Lyla and Shaw on deck.
Okay. I think maybe now we'll try that sleep. Like, we just pop out, poke my head around the corner, like see if I can knock him out. What is that? Verbal. So you'll probably see Lyla like kind of almost nervously like singing a little lullaby like out the back, like so yeah, and we are gonna I am gonna do second level.
Uh-huh.
So that's gonna be 7 of these guys. Whoops, hang on. That was too many. And that gives me a couple of those were pretty good. That gives me 33.
33?
Huh?
That is not enough.
Oh, I thought
The magic attempts to put the tree to sleep, but it
Dang.
shakes itself back awake.
All right. Well, that'll be my action. And bonus action will Bardic Inspiration Mr. Og.
All right.
Just hit him again, Chauncey.
All right. And so we are then to Shaw.
I will. I'm gonna try frostbite again at con save 14.
All right. That's going to be a 16. This thing has really good constitution.
I know. I don't think it takes any damage too if it succeeds.
Nope. Because it's a cantrip.
You said Lovey May was restrained. Is it possible for me to telekinetically pull her back 5 feet when restrained? Could it be like a contested against my like spell AC or something maybe?
You know what? Yeah, let's do that. So I'll roll its strength and you roll, I guess, your spell casting ability modifier that you chose for telekinesis.
Yeah, it's just 14
Telekinetic?
DC. Yeah, I think.
All right. It got a 22.
Oh yeah, it definitely has her. No such luck.
you watch as Lovey May there's like a violent shove as Lovey May almost goes flying back, but her foot gets still stuck. It's still wedged in the tree.
Well, I tried. That'll be my turn.
All right. Now it is the pine tree's turn, and it's going to do 2 attacks towards you, Chauncey, and 1 attack towards Lovey May. So we'll do the 2 attacks towards you first.
Ah,
26.
that'll hit.
The second one, can I use a portent die to make it a 9? I don't know what its plus is, but
I rolled a 7, so I'll let you keep
oh,
it.
okay, cool.
So only one of those hits, and now the hit towards Lovey May. Does a 14 hit Lovey May?
No, her AC is 15.
All right. So you are the only one to get damaged. We'll see how much damage that does.
Yeah, I'll silvery barbs that.
It's a bit late now.
Well,
I've already rolled damage. It's a bit
Well.
late.
took me a second to decide.
It's going to be
On the
19 points of slashing
battlefield.
damage as its tree bark just rakes into you.
Ow.
And that is going to be the end of its turn.
It also takes fire damage.
Oh,
from the
yes.
flaming sphere.
Constitute. Is it dexterity or constitution?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Does a 16 pass?
Just barely, so it takes half damage,
All right.
which is 7 half to 3.
All right. You watch as more of these little branches and twigs fall off of it, and more of its bark becomes blackened as this flaming sphere continues roasting it. All right. We are now to Jed, Virgil. What would you like to do?
I'm a firebolt.
All right. Take
Just one
aim.
thing.
All right, that's a 25 to hit.
That hits.
Really, that'll do it.
And that's gonna be 12 fire damage.
Oof. You send the bolt sailing through a portion of its branches. Twigs fall down, hailing on top of you, Chauncey. These blackened twigs. As a whole section of the tree, it no longer has a nice triangular shape. It almost has a divot cut out of it as you've blasted through it, and a good portion of the needles have gone yellow and black as you've done a significant amount of damage to it. This thing is not looking good.
And then I'm gonna smack it with my flaming sphere.
Right, correct.
Give me a
Nice.
dexterity save.
Oh, it's bad at those. It got a 4, so it got a 2.
Fuck yeah. He takes 9 fire damage.
Ooh. This thing is barely holding on. A cough will probably kill it. It is that close. So, Velantrios, what would you like to do? Unless, of course, Jed, you'd like to move.
No, I'm good.
All right. Velantrios, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna cough on it. I'm gonna do guiding bolt.
Violently spit at it.
All right, guiding bolt, take aim.
Guiding bolt. Where are you? There you are. Oh wait, that's damage.
Yep, it'll be a d20 plus your spellcasting ability modifier and proficiency modifier.
19.
Yep, that hits. Roll damage. Well, actually, no, don't roll damage. It had 1 hit point.
Dead.
You blast a hole through its mouth, sending bark spraying everywhere as the tree falls backwards. Luckily, not on any of the people that are there. However, I will say Lovey May is still stuck in the tree, so she kind of tips over with it. And she's kind of laying on the ground with her foot still stuck in the tree. But you have officially killed the pine tree. And that is where we are going to end this week's episode. So join us next week as they continue on their journey towards Red Tower and find out what monster lurks there. So join us next week, and I will see you all in about 5 minutes.